And what time of the year, anybody knows what time of the year this is?
Teruah.
Yom Teruah. We can't make no mistakes with this. Read on.
And for those listening, Teruah is the Feast of Trumpets.
Hallelujah. Exactly.
Okay, for Yahuah himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahuah. And the dead in Mashiyach shall rise first.
Right, so now, there are going to be some of us now that's going to die, but you want to die in the Mashiyach. Okay, that's what you want to do. You don't want to be weak and be taken away and say, listen, you know what, I'm used to eating 3 meals a day, I'm used to the internet, I'm used to all these things here, so you said, listen, I'm going to sell out, and I'm going back into the world. I'm going to take the mark of the beast. It's funny, but on the real, it did happen. When we began to look at the history of Yashra'al, there was some man that sold us out, bro. And this is what we want to do, man. We want to be so tightly together where we can depend on one another, where, listen, we're not going to sell each other's out, in the last days here. I mean, again, and to the point where, if we on the run, if somebody was to get captured, whatever the case like that might be, listen, I want to know where the congregation of Yashra'al is at. Listen, you know what? I'm going to have to die for this here. I'm not going to let them know where we at. Yeah, it's about to get rough out here, and I just pray again that everybody understands how serious this is. Go ahead, Moray, please.
Then we which are alive and remain. Let me read that one more time. Then which we are alive, ark of the word, and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the cloud, to meet the sovereign in the air, and so shall we ever be with Yahuah Elohim.
Right, and so this is all metaphorically, okay, the Father's, he's going to place his foot, okay, in Jerusalem, and when you go to Acts the 2nd chapter, the messenger told his Talmudim, the same way that you see this Mashiyach going up, he's going to come back down the same way. And he's coming back, setting his foot on the Mount of Olives. All right? This is all scripture. No magic poof, T.D. Jakes teachings. All this stuff is scripture. 2nd Ezra to 16th chapter, verse 17 to 35. Please pay very close attention. And I'm going to read this real quick. 17 to 35. Woe is destruction. It says, woe is me, woe is me. Who would deliver me in those days? That's how hard it's going to be, Mishpachah. Ezra is saying, wow, who can survive this? Watch this now. The beginning of sorrows, great mournings, the beginning of famine. Okay, mournings, the beginning of famine. Great death. Great death now. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginnings of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? It's a question. What are you going to do? I need every single body here in order to function. Everybody here is important. Everybody. Because I'm going to tell you, mores and elders and chiefs and stuff like that is going out the window. We all need each other. All right? Like Zakane says, listen, you know what? It takes 5 fingers now to make a proper fist to throw a punch. Everybody's important. Try running down without your pinky toe. Your little baby toe there. You're going to be, it's awkward. You need every member in your body now to function properly. Listen to what Ezra is saying what's going to happen now in these last days. Who will be able to stand against these last days here? And all of these now are just birth pains. Like Moray keeps bringing out. Labor pains. Okay. All right. Verse 18. The beginnings of sorrows and great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness. Negroes. I was about to say the other ones. Listen, it really takes a lot. Almost 4 billion people are going to die, and that's not going to be enough. All right. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth at that time. They shall think themselves to be in a good case. All right? Because I can go to Dollar General and I can buy everything for $1. All right? They're good. What is Moray talking about? What are these guys talking about? Everything is good. All right. They should say peace, peace, and then there should be sudden destruction. Okay. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. These are the 4 plagues that is talked about in the book of Revelation. So Revelation now is being explained now in the book of Ezra. These are the 4 judgments. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall die of famine. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. The earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be casted down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. That's frightening. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? Almost 4 billion people are going to die. The grapes shall ripe, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So that one man shall desire to see another, and just to hear his voice, just to hear another man's voice. For a city there shall be left 10. That's the fact. Come on now. Remember the movie again with
Denzel?
no, not Denzel Washington, the gatekeeper. Will Smith. Okay. Remember he's sending out these calls. Okay. He's looking for somebody, just to hear somebody's voice. You listen. Can you imagine only 10 people left in the whole state of Georgia? It's going to get very, very frightening out here. All right.
All right.
Yes.
We had 10 minutes of memory left.
10 minutes, okay? Facebook. Facebook, okay? So that one man should desire to see another and to hear his voice. For a city there should be left 10. And 2 of the fields shall hide themselves in the thick groves, which is the woods. There should be people now that's going to be left in the clefts of the rocks. And in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Wow. As in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or maybe 4 olives. That's it, Mr. McCall. We almost done. Or when as a vineyard is gathered, there are left some cluster of them that diligently seek throughout the vineyard. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left of them that search their houses with the sword. So that's what's going to happen. The same that you see in the Walking Dead, all these houses are going to be vacant. And what we'll do, we'll walk through the houses to see if anybody is there. And whatever's left there that we can use, we'll take those things and keep on moving. Okay. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns. So there's going to be grass and thorns just growing up all over the place. Nobody to cut the grass. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegrooms, no husbands. All right? Women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things, and understand them. you servants of the Father Ab Yahuah. Behold, or listen now, the words of the Father Ab Yahuah. Receive them. Believe not the powers of whom Yahuah spoke. I don't care what Donald Trump, Nancy Pelosi says. I don't care what they say. Believe them not. Destruction is coming upon the whole face of the planet Earth. Guaranteed. Thus saith the Father of Yahuah. Psalms 91:7. Moray, if you can read that, we'll be done.
Psalms, Tehillim 91:7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Mishpachah. And again, we only touched the plagues. We didn't even go through that. So I pray, Mishpachah, that you were able to gather and receive their information. I didn't go to no hadiths. I didn't go to the mission. I didn't go through anything. This was all outlined here in scripture. And so again, if anybody is looking for a rapture and floating up into Shamayim and all this other stuff, Jesus, I mean, he promises that, but not the Father of Yahuah. So if you're waiting for Jesus, wait on. You know, we're looking for this right here, New Jerusalem, come from out of Shamayim. So that's all I have. Anybody have any questions?
You say that number, does that include the 2/3 of the Israel? Supposed to be 2/3 of Israel supposed to get the whole number?
Oh yeah, oh yes,
That's what I was
absolutely.
saying. I was just trying to figure out, was that 2/3 in that? That's not even in that number, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because the scripture, it goes to a whole lot of other people dying,
Right.
and only a small remnant is going to be left.
Right.
And what we'll do is that we'll go over that at another time because we only went through plagues, the first plague, and we went through 3, 4, and 5. But we still need to go through the trumpets because we're going to show in scripture, just as the Father is sealing his servants, the adversary is also sealing his at the same time. It's all outlined in scriptures. When you compare now the trumpets now to the vows or the plagues here. He's a copycat is what he's doing. He's stealing his, the Father is stealing his. Any questions?
So out of all of that, we have 2/3 of the Israelites that will perish during